Hey everybody, good morning. Well, it's morning over here. Welcome to the Garden Muse. I'm Melissa. Just doing a little update on my back porch here. I'm going to be watering my garden today. I was just checking the dirt. Looks like things are getting a little dry after the rain spells that we had. But here is a little update on my babies. Yeah, so things are going really good. As you can see here, my yellow zucchini, my yellow squash is coming out. Yeah, so I got a few of those. The tomatoes, truth be told, they've been coming along a little bit slower than I had hoped. They're finally starting to get a little growth spurt, so they're finally starting to get those new leaves and things like that. But boy, I had to wait. There was these weird mushrooms. Look at this black ink. Okay, so there was these weird mushrooms that were popping out of my bucket. I guess probably because of the combination of the straw and the wet dirt, it's like, hey, mushrooms, I don't know what kind of mushrooms they were, so I was not going to take any chances, but at the same time, I feel like they kind of inhibited a little growth. Since those have stopped popping up now, it looks like the tomatoes are finally starting to grow again. So yeah, that's what's going on there. So I got all my tomato babies, various babies in various stages in my pots here, and you can see, okay, now I started growing catnip because I love my cat, and every cat owner at one point is like, should I start growing catnip? Okay, I grew catnip. My cat doesn't like it. What, can anyone tell me why that is? I gotta look that up. I got catnip, I grew the catnip, and I clipped and snipped some fresh catnip for her finally, because it makes some real leaves, and she don't like it. What is up with that? Her favorite stuff, if you've seen any of my videos, I got the little canisters of the, she loves those, I forgot, top of my head, but she loves these little catnip treats, and she's just nuts about catnip. But I'm wondering if maybe okay, so like, because I'm a medical marijuana user, so I'm wondering if maybe it's kind of like weed, where like the concentrations in the catnip, the chemical compounds probably don't, they have to mature for a certain time before they become activated and useful for cats, which is kind of like THC, the way THC works, when you grow weed, you can't, well, then again, with the weed, you're not actually using the leaves, you're using the, you're using the flower of the female plant. But at the same time, though, I'm just kind of wondering if maybe that has the same, it's just kind of like me thinking out loud. Yeah. But anyways, yes, I got my, I ran out of space, so I started putting zucchini all over the place. And, oh, look at this big lettuce leaf basil. Now you see why they call it that? It's so pretty. Oh, and it smells so divine too. I love basil, fresh basil. These are great for wraps if you're doing like, say like, oh, one of those Thai wraps with one of those rice papers. This is really great for that. Now, I got bugs. Look at this. This is a sunflower, and something started going to town on it. Now, it's doing a little bit better because what I did was I started totally dousing it with cayenne pepper, but look at what those guys did to it. Oh my God, and then they just kept coming back for more. I'm like, you bastards. But, hopefully, I don't know, we'll see. Ooh, look at this one. They're going to start making courgettes soon. I'm going to start having some zucchini flowers. Now, you could eat the zucchini flowers too. I want to tell you guys, so whenever there's zucchini flowers, do not miss out on an opportunity. Well, unless it's like a female flower, but truth be told, it's usually the male flower. You'll kind of notice because when you look inside the flower, you'll see like a stamen, kind of like, obviously, like a male flower. Whereas the female has kind of like more like a cluster of stamens, and that's how you could tell that it's the female. Now I planted, now I know that guy ate my carrots. I had to start all over with my carrots. I had a bunch of these guys all over the place, and then one day they were just wiped out. Totally wiped out. So whatever this thing is that's hiding inside here is totally going after my sunflower and my carrots. So we'll see. I tried growing some more though, so we got like a whole new set of babies. So we'll see how that goes. And then moving over here, got my dragon fruit babies. I just planted a second batch of babies now. These ones here, the newer ones that are popping up, me and my son, we found at the grocery store some, it was a different kind of dragon fruit. It was a golden one. Now this one is definitely the pink dragon fruit that we grew from the store we ate before, but this one is a golden one that I saw. I was like, oh my God, I gotta grow that. So I did. Yeah, so these are my little dragon fruit babies, and they're doing really happy here. We're just gonna kind of see how far that goes. I know it takes years for things, but you know, I don't care. I like the challenge. I just like it. And as you can see here, I'm growing, you know, well, through the spider webs, I'm growing my seeds here. You know, if you're a seed saver, you gotta let your plants look kind of funny. Yeah, you gotta let them get a little spindly, because once they start growing, like for example this lettuce here, this is what it looks like. They have these little pods that they grow, and this is where your seeds are, and that's what I'm going to be picking. So I want to give it enough time so that way it could, you know, mature and give the seeds all the good, you know, energy that it has right before it, you know, I finally let it go. And look, it's making even more flowers. So hey, more flowers, more seeds. Didn't make too many on this one, so kind of letting that one do its thing. Now to my favorite. Oh my God, look at this guy. Okay, so the dill is slowly kind of taken over. I think I planted too much dill. I already harvested some of it, and it's still coming back in force. Dill is a monster. You know, I think that's why they call that one mammoth dill, because it really is. It's crazy. It's like a monster. Dill grows like crazy. So yeah, harvest, harvest, harvest. I've already started giving it away to people. And then I have some hyssop here that I started growing. I really love hyssop. I like to put it in teas, and it makes the prettiest little purple flower. So it's looking really good. Ooh, and look, see, you guys remember from my earlier videos, I had my tomato baby, and it was like, what, like about this small? Now look at him. He's doing good. He's beautiful. I think this one is going to be the yellow tom, because I'm looking, it's already starting to make flower now. So yeah, I think this is the miniature tomato plant that I kept in here. One of them that managed to survive, at least. The other ones did not do so well, but that's okay. We got more. Now look at these guys. Wow. Look at that. These are my Japanese. I'm gonna, you know, they said turnips, but they're really more like radishes. Sorry, my phone keeps, I don't know why, it keeps stopping the recording on me, which is getting kind of annoying, but life goes on. All right, so I'm pretty happy with this. In general, I'm really happy with the way it turned out. It was really easy to make. I bought this over at the Menards. So yeah, it was, for, I would say, pretty good deal. Definitely good deal. I'm definitely happy with that. Next to that, I still have my carrots going on. You can see here all my carrots, and they're actually starting to get really big. And my other garden over there, which I'll show you in a little bit, boy, the carrots are really starting to come in. So yeah, I'm gonna have quite a good carrot harvest this year. Now, taking a look at the things that Aaron picked out for his side here. Now, he picked out the ghost pepper. Yeah, it was kind of funny. Nothing wants to eat this thing. This is like the best thing to grow, because it looks like maybe something tried and then it maybe died. That's about it. You'll see like the tiniest little nip, and that's it. And I think that's about as far as the little guy could go before it just totally lit on fire and died. Yeah. So you don't have to worry about pesticides or nothing like that with your ghost peppers. Now, I've been having some issues though, unfortunately, with my sweet peppers. It's not the same story, you know, because all the other pests, if they can eat the pepper plant, they will. Yeah, and they do. I mean, I try to come out and I try to pick it. So what happens is, whenever you see those nasty cabbage moth bastards, when they come over to your plants, start looking. Wherever they land, they're putting their eggs on, because, you know, they want their babies to eat it and then go in the ground and turn into more butterflies. So yeah, that's why we got to make sure that we take care of stuff like that. So I always check under the sides. I've been trying to be more diligent with that, especially with these peppers, because it seems like the bastards found them somehow. Oh, it's this one. Yeah, you gotta, I just pick them off and I take them off, and you know, that's all you can really do with that. I do not like to use pesticides. This one is a Cubanelli. Ooh, that's a nice one. That's a good one for stuffing. And then these ones are the Snackabelle. Yeah, Snackabelle Reds. Those are like little red ones. And then he also picked out a pineapple tomato. That looks like really fun. That's going to be a lot of fun. And that one's doing really good. And then we also have the watermelon cherry tomato. Yeah, so we're going to have a bumper crop of tomatoes coming. So that's the back porch business. Let me take you guys on over and show you where I'm going to get started planting, because today is planting day according to the Farmer's Almanac. So I'm going to be planting hard. So let me get back to you and show you what we're going to be putting in the garden. Hey guys, sitting here ready to make my selection. I have my seeds out right now, and these are going to be for my secondary planting for the year, for my summer guys. I just recently cleared out my flower beds, so I cleaned out the spinach, all the spent bok choy, and all the, well, most of the spent lettuce, besides the ones that I actually want to keep that are pretty amazing and I want seeds of. But here, I want to show you guys what I got. So it's kind of a mixture. It's mostly leftover stuff. I kind of went a little crazy and accidentally bought a little too many of the cucumbers, so I might have to pick and choose which ones I want to use this year. But to go through these, I do have plans for pumpkins. Yeah, I do want to grow some pumpkins. I got this one. I mean, it's whatever they had. Early sweet sugar pie. And then we got Big Max. I like that one. My little guy's named Max. Yeah, he's my little guy, my little Big Max. Yeah, and then I also want to try some watermelon here. It's just the only one I could find. It's called Crimson Sweet. I didn't really have any major preferences. I just wanted to grow some watermelon, so that's the one I got. And then for the cantaloupes, there's like a couple different ones that I saw, so I'm going to give this a try. This one looks more like a muskmelon, and this one more of a cantaloupe, but we'll kind of see from there. Now, I'm going to be planting, I'm going to try planting some more flowers in the front of the house. Truth be told, I'm having some issues. Something is eating my zinnias and also going after my sunflowers. I found some cayenne pepper sprinkle does help. After a certain point when the sunflower grows, it gets too big for it to eat. Yeah, they get too tough. So, you know, you just got to get them through that baby stage and hopefully, you know, they make it, but you know, who knows. But at the same time, I also have some seeds that I saved. I use plastic baggies. I have some sage back from my house. Oh, way back, near Chicago. Yes, for my old house here, so I saved some sage seeds. I also have some little baby black sunflowers back from the Kankakee house, and then I saved some, this one I labeled tall marigold seeds, so it looks like marigolds, but I noticed that they were really tall, so that's what I called them. I have some extra zinnia seeds too that I saved from the flowers last year. They were really beautiful at the house in Kankakee, but you know, different place, different problems. At this house, it doesn't seem like whatever kind of bugs are here wants to let me grow them. It's just like that in different places. You know, different places grow different things. So, you know, I'm going to give it a try. I'll give it one last try, but, you know, we'll see. Anywho, I'm also going to try, I grew this. Now, this grew really well outside in the, was it on the container that I got there? So yeah, we got some hyssop and it's delicious. So I'm gonna, you know what, it's a perennial. I'm just gonna put it outside in the front so it could just keep growing and keep looking pretty. I'm a lazy gardener. So I also have some fava beans. Yeah. And this is some nice Chianti. But now I'm gonna be planting this actually a little bit later. Now with fava beans, they like cold weather. I didn't realize this before when I planted them, but yeah, I'm going to be planting this guy maybe a little bit later because it's June right now. So when you got to think about the weather when you're planting stuff, you know, it's pretty much, no lie, where I'm at, June, July, August. you got to have hot weather stuff or stuff that is not going to mind the hot weather, because you know what? It's going to get sweltering hot. And lately the storms have been kind of crazy. Not complaining about the rain though. I have to admit, with all the extra rain, my garden's kind of looking extra awesome. But at the same time, you know, you got to prepare. So I will be planting this a little bit later when things cool down for fava beans. It says here, it's a high protein early variety, cool weather gourmet bean. See, yeah, it says it prefers a long cool season, growing season, and you have to sow them in soil. It doesn't. Oh, mature days. Okay. So it says here sprouts in 7 to 14 days. Oh. I'm not exactly how soon. Well, you know what? All honesty, beans don't take very long to grow, so that's okay. I would still plant it probably later. I'm thinking like maybe July, maybe August. Yeah, August is probably a better month, like later August, you know, when it starts like cooling down a little bit, and let them have September and October. And I think that should be okay. You know, sometimes you got to like do these things in your head, because it's like if you're like me and you live in a place that has 4 seasons, we just don't get the luxury of growing things all year round. So you have to kind of time it out. So moving along, I also have my green beans. You could grow these all year, plant them all the time, plant them in different successions. I mean, green beans are just, oh, they're great. This one's Kitchen King. Ooh, and I got Mellow Yellow. I like the different colors. They're all lots of fun to play with. These ones are just bush varieties. I'm going to plant them in between the stuff. So in between, you know how I like to do companion planting. So I'm planting my beans in between the squash, so they could just kind of like meander through each other. And the beans also will be fertilizing the squash, you know, so it's kind of like a symbiotic relationship. So that's how I'm doing it. I got plans. I will be taking my snap peas and my snow peas out eventually. And I did want to put some cucumbers. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to do this one or, oh my God, I picked out so many and they all look really nice. Honestly, to me, this Armenian one is really good. I got this before at the farmer's market I used to go to in Schaumburg. I don't know if anybody's from Illinois or from Schaumburg. Hey, big ups for Schaumburg. Love that place. Yeah, I used to live next to Schaumburg and I lived in Streamwood, but it was a part that's like right next to Schaumburg, and we used to be part of it, but they like Streamwood's taxes better, so they annexed themselves to Streamwood. Anyway, long story short, they have a rockin' farmer's market, and I tried this cucumber, and it was amazing. So I'm definitely going to be growing that one. This one, I think, yeah, I got from the Baker Seed catalog. I was probably just looking for a good cucumber, and I think I just accidentally bought too many, you know, just because that's what you do when you don't know how much stuff you got. But anyways, I will be picking some of those, and then I'm also going to be continuing on with soybeans. Oh, these guys are so much fun. Now, you guys, I don't know if you've ever been, like, if you've been to the Japanese restaurants, you know how they got the edamame, and oh, those are so good. And there's just no excuse for you to not grow these yourself. There just isn't. They're so easy to grow. I like to grow them together in groups because they kind of hold each other up. Yeah, they kind of like, I don't know, I've noticed like they just hold it, they form like almost like a bush, and they just kind of hold each other up, and you just kind of harvest them that way. Yeah, so I got this one's Midori Giant. Yeah, this one is Chiba Green, and then I also got some Tankuro Edamame. Ooh, that looks fun. Yeah, fun stuff. So yeah, I have my soybeans, so I will be planting those. So these are the kind of like the backup crops that you could plant a little bit later, you know, because when you think about it, or at least you got to count like when your last frost date is. So usually, now I'm kind of assuming, because you know what, I'm in Farmer City, so I'm in central Illinois. I used to be in Chicago. Now in Chicago, you got about until Halloween. Usually Halloween, that everything's going to die after Halloween because, you know, it's going to snow or the weather's just going to suck. But, you know, I'm more in southern I'm more in like central Illinois. But anyways, you want to plan at least until the end of October. That's what I usually do. Sometimes you could get away with it. Sometimes not. You know, sometimes there's just like random stuff. But generally, rule of thumb, or at least if you're in the Midwest and you got 4 seasons, I usually stop when it makes me when it's about October. So right now it's June, so we still got July, August, September, and all the way in, including October. So we still have good 4 months, you guys, of growing left. So just wanted to show you guys these, and I will show you also the garden bed when we get ready to plant that. And voila. So we're back at the yard. So it took me actually a couple days to do this. Oh my God. I got to tell you, like yesterday and that sun, I was out there. Oh, I tried this new thing with sunscreen. I don't know if anybody's heard of this, like carrot seed oil. I had no idea that had a natural SPF. I found out that watching one of my favorite channels, Daniel's Irish Herb Garden with Terry. She's amazing. And I was watching her show, and they had an episode about using carrot seed oil. And I was like, wow, I thought I'd give it a try. So I mixed it in with some, just some shea oil that I had, and I rubbed it on, and I went outside and I started doing my work. But yeah, man, yesterday, like I managed to get the front planted, but when I went to the back, I was like, I don't know, I'm not feeling so hot. I had to go lie down. It was just like, I don't know, that sun gets a little sweltering, but it's the next day. So according to Farmer's Almanac, yesterday and today are the prime days for planting. So I'm still in the green zone. So we are here in my garden, and now I moved around my tomato plants to kind of space them out, because eventually they're going to be the towers in my garden. Yeah, so with the exception, now there's things that I did leave that are probably going to be there closer towards the end of the season, things that grow longer. And you usually want to put those around the corners of your garden where you could kind of just let them be, you know, just let them do their thing. Or you could put them in the middle, but you want a space. So like over here, for example, I have my potatoes, which, you know, they're still potatoing, and I got my beets over here, which are looking just amazing, and I've been eating the greens too. And then also along the corners, I still have, like you can see here, tons of onions, and they're starting to bulb up now. They're looking really pretty when I pull them out. So yeah, I got tons of onions. On top of that, I got carrots and beets around the corners also. So yeah, I kept pretty much my root vegetables kind of aligning all around the perimeter of everything. Yeah, I found that was really helpful, especially like, for example, like this created like a little microclimate here. Now I planted my my beautiful Merlot lettuce. Now most of my lettuce is spent, but you know what? I'm still eating this guy. Would you believe it? Yeah, I'm still eating it. Look, it's amazing. It's not bitter yet. You know why? Because the carrots are shading it and keeping the hot sun from touching it. Yeah, it's microclimates, man. So that's how companion planting works. They help each other out, and they like each other. So, you know, as long as you keep things copacetic. So as you can see here, I have various things at various stages, and it's kind of more like controlled chaos, but that's how I like to garden. That's my style. So what I went ahead and did was I separated into sections. So in here, I pretty much just drew a line and I planted all my pumpkins there. Now, I just did that there because I'm planning on those guys pretty much sprawling as far as they want to go, which is cool with me. You know, this space is open for them. And also, while I planted my, pumpkins over here, I planted my cantaloupe over here, or I'm pretty sure it's cantaloupe. Oh shoot, I don't know if I've mixed it up, cantaloupe or watermelon. I know this one's either cantaloupe or that one's watermelon or this one's cantaloupe. Okay, but yeah, so I planted just my viney stuff along this edge here, and I'm gonna let those kind of meander through wherever they want to go, you know, because the best part of the companion planting is a lot of the squash vines, for example, they don't like tons of heat. They're not big fans of it. And unfortunately, you have to grow them through the big you know, heat waves of summer. So how do you do that? You plant them with other stuff. So like, you know, like our lettuce here, they take care of each other. They help each other out. So I'm hoping, that's why I got my tomato plants already established. They're pretty big already. So by the time these things grow, my tomato plants will be a lot taller. So yeah, definitely hoping for that. So things are working out good with that. I also went ahead and I planted all my soybeans. Yeah, so also all those bare spots, pretty much every inch has a soybean growing in it. Yes, I just put my soybeans in there. So I'm going to be companion planting my soybeans in between the tomatoes, because the tomatoes are going to get a lot taller, and then the soybeans, well, they only get about, I'd say about like 2 to 3, maybe 3 feet at most tall, but they really don't, by the time the, you know, the tomatoes are going to get bigger, it's not going to matter. So that's kind of how that works with that. You know, it's just planting in successions and allowing things to kind of grow in their own time actually works out better. Yeah, so I went ahead, oh, and you can see I moved over. I found new babies. Boy, you know, when I started clearing up around there, I was like, oh my God, there's a tomato. Oh my God, there's another tomato. I didn't realize, like, I just kind of threw some tomato seeds and I'm like, grow if you want to. And they did. Yeah, look at these guys. Aren't they beautiful? So yeah, I found these little babies. They were just kind of like hidden. Yeah, they were like hiding in the grass. I don't know. So I went and I took them out and I put them in a better spacing. And then I also planted, I'm pretty sure the watermelon here. Yeah, so I planted the watermelon squash vines. So those are going to be growing. Whew, those are going to be growing in between. Sorry, bug just was like crawling on my boob. But yeah, so the watermelon vines are going to be growing in between here. Eventually, I will be taking these out. So, you know, I'm letting my guys go to seed. So I'm letting my tatsoi go to seed, my spinach, and and also my lettuce back there. Oh, and I have some lettuce here. But you know, honestly, in about a month or so, I'll be taking those out once the seeds are about ready to be dried and everything. And then that's going to be even more room for the squash vines to grow in. So this is kind of like a garden in progression. So just taking you guys along there with me, and I will get back to you when we start seeing some babies.